A 32-year-old former care worker and father of 3, a well-known extremist who was allowed to leave the UK to fight jihad in Syria. A man who said he would sacrifice his own children 100 times for his cause. Tonight we hear from his family.
Don't worry, Mum. God will look after you. He said he will meet them in heaven.
A Man United fan who grew up on the streets of Derby. Those who knew Kabir Ahmed say he was easily led. A young man recruited by an extremist group. The beginning of a journey that has ended with him blowing himself up in a suicide attack for the Islamic State in Iraq.
I can't stop crying because a young lad, a happy lad, you know, with a family, from that lad growing up like that and doing this, I always think it's 2 different people, you know, 2 different people.
Kabir Ahmed's relative has spoken to Channel 4 News but didn't want to be identified. She says the family are in mourning. The last time he spoke to his mother, she pleaded with him to come home. His wife was pregnant with their 3rd child.
You left me and I'm your mum and I brought you up, and he says, don't worry, Mum, God will look after you.
But he never got to see his son born?
No, he didn't see his father's son born. He said he will meet them in heaven.
Kabir and his brother were brought up on these streets by their mother after his parents split up. At university, he fell in with the radical group Hizb ut-Tahrir, seen here at this anti-gay rally in the city. They were well known to the police, and Kabir was arrested outside this mosque for distributing leaflets calling for the death penalty for gays. He and 2 friends became the first people in the country jailed for inciting hatred against gay people. His family believe he was further radicalised in prison. Do you think that changed him, his time in prison?
I think that something changed him, you know, something deep down in his heart changed him, because his level of talk was very different as well, you know.
And Kabir himself says it was in prison that he decided to go to Syria to fight jihad.
When you're sitting in a cell and for months and months, and you know, the only thing you can think about is jihad, you know. I'd feel like a hypocrite living in the West. How can I live in the West and enjoy my life eating McDonald's and KFC?
Kabir started fundraising for Syria. He didn't tell his family he was planning to go and join militants himself. They even gave him money, thinking it was for charity. They want to know why he was allowed to leave the country if he was known to the police.
A lot of kids, they grow up and they get into that state where they're thinking, they're taking Islam in a different level, you know. Islam means peace.
It's understood Kabir was killed last week when he detonated a truck bomb north of Baghdad. He had gone by the name Abu Subaya al-Britani. His death was announced by Islamic State militants in an Arabic posting. It describes him as one of the Caliphate's lions and says of his suicide mission, he advanced with the truck full of bombs. He shouted, Allahu Akbar, and detonated it. Many will be horrified by his actions. His family say they are left trying to understand what motivated him.
I don't know if what he did was right or what he did was wrong, in what way, or was it in you know, was he pleasing Allah, or what was, I just wanted to know. I wish I knew what was he was thinking. All I was thinking, well, he must have been a brave, he's got a heart of, you know, stone to do that.
The Foreign Office tonight have not officially confirmed Kabir Ahmed's death and say they are still investigating. Darshna Soni, Channel 4 News, Derby.